Yeah, for reminding me. Permission to everybody. We're going to record this meeting and usually use to. I hope you don't. This is the and fellows among also. We work together as a team to see how we can get ourselves better prepared and become better physicians tomorrow. Not just physicians, leaders of our community, leaders of various sectors that we we're very networking. We want to redefine what we mean by networking. We're going to reach out those that have help, that know how to help, like me. Any resources I have to help you, I throw it in there. If you have anyone to help us, because tomorrow we intend to be big and grow, so that I could refer to Dr. Joanne or Dr. Henry, who might be the president of American Medical Association in the next 10 years. Hey, do you know so person? Can you help me do this? Can you help me? Because I believe people that believe it, that the human as volume as the merit currency. Merit currency is good, but the human currency is also equally good. There's a study that we want to do. We've already prepared the question if you want to jump on, but we want to actually see how many people got interview knowing somebody and how many people actually got interview without knowing people, and compare it. We've prepared that questionnaire. We're going through IRBT. The things we're checking in that milestone is how many people got interview, open house during that interview. Did you know anybody? And it's going to be an anonymous survey. So we just want to sample size like 5,000. So actually see, so that we can present this to many people that will come up tomorrow and say, hey, you had attempt, your score is not that. I'll give you some crazy reasons not to help you. It has been written, it has been done scientifically that 80% of people that have interviews because they are connected to somebody or something. So we can rephrase our mindsets, especially we Nigerians, when we get to a position of authority tomorrow, when they say, Professor Nebo, can you help the person? You don't give the person an excuse. Today we'll have, our topic today is how to tackle unexpected question in the interview. And we have Dr. OJ, who is a nephrologist, a fellow in nephrology. He has served in several boards. He works in one of the hospitals in New York. You can reach out to him. He's a great guy, but his list would have been filled by now. He'll be interviewing Dr. Endurance, Dr. Henry Lukeme. I misspelled your name the last time. Said Ananya. Actually, yeah, Dr. Gochi, I can see you. So OJ said we should give him 2 more minutes. He'll be jumping in. There are other residents that will also jump in. Dr. AB should be here. She will jump in. Dr. Resident will also jump in. She's currently also presently serving in an interview panel. So she's going to be part of the interview panel in the residency program. So she will also jump in. We'll hear from them. They will all chime in. So we'll give OJ like 1 more minute for him to come in. Meanwhile, if you have any question or salutation to say to anybody, you're free to speak up while we wait for OJ to jump in. Thank you. My volume is low.
Dr. Eddie, yeah, I was just about to say, is there something you can do about your volume? I'm really straining to hear you.
Okay, let me see how I can amplify it.
Ugochi, nice to see you again.
Actually, what happens when you use...
Looking good.
You too, thanks.
Thank you.
How is my namesake?
Which of them? Which one?
I thought your husband's name is Henry. Maybe I'm mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you thought I forgot?
I can't believe that. How's the season going?
Tiring, exhausting, but we're pushing.
Nice, nice.
I'm really tired.
while we're waiting for Dr. OJ, Dr. Vivian, Dr. AB to join, some few things I found out. Right? There's like 4 new programs or 5 new programs that just opened. If you want to apply, send them letter. I'll send you the link to those programs. I've had it before. That's what I'm looking for. Before the program ends, I'll drop a link. Just send them an email, especially if you have not received the interview invitation. Reach out to them. You never know. They're family medicine, internal medicine programs. 4 or 5 of them that just recently got open, I think 2 or 3 days ago. I'll put it in there. Let me see. If you're here. Okay. Dr. OJ is not here. Let me just give me a reminder. Give me 1 second. OJ.
Hey guys, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, we can hear you.
Alrighty. Hey Edward, what's up? Can you guys see me?
Okay, Dr. So I'll just quickly introduce him again. Dr. J is a fellow in training nephrology in one of the hospitals in New York. He's done with his residency. He has served in his interview board several times. Though different programs have different ways of interviewing, but his wealth of experience in serving at least close to a program director. Dr. J, your camera, can you swipe it open so that they can see?
I'm trying to do that right now. All right.
Yeah. So
hi guys.
his experience might help us. Well, like I said, we're big in networking. You can reach out to him for advice. He's great. He may not be able to recommend you to his program because his list must have been filled by now. But he's a great guy. You can reach out to him anytime, and if he has the time, he will respond. So we have 3 people here that will be interviewing today with you. We're doing live session. Dr. Endurance is here. Dr. Henry Elukeme is also here. Dr. Ananya is also here. I'll put 4 of you on the spotlight so that we'll be on the main screen. Thank you.
All right. Hi everyone. So great and nice to meet you guys. I know it's a very tough season. Everyone it's applying this season. I hope you guys apply to my program though. My program is very IMG friendly, so I think everyone should apply to my program, and let's see how it plays out. My program director is Conrad Fisher. You guys have heard of him, right? It's a great guy. He loves IMGs. For all my program is 100% IMGs. They barely take AMGs because they are outside the match. So it's Brookdale Hospital. Brookdale Hospital. I think the name has changed now. It's now One Brooklyn Health. Okay. All right. So I think the aim of all this is just to prepare us for the interviews. I know a bunch of us has gotten a couple of interviews, and I think some people have started interviewing already. We all have different experiences. I have personally been to several interviews myself personally, and I've been involved in interviewing people both for fellowship. Yes, I just started fellowship, but even before, now we're preparing for the next year, we intervene fellows. And no, not really. Not really. If you get from 230s and above, you get a spot like stats, you get an interview, like, you know how it is. The guy is big on scores, but trust me, the other things that come into play. So yeah, you could keep the questions rolling. I will just answer as we go on. So the things I want to talk about today before we go into practicing real life is The mindsets. Interview, I think interview is just a way of showcasing who you are to the program. They just want to see whether they like you. You know, they want to see, oh, is this the kind of person we want in our program? How do you fit? Every program has a system, the way they do their things. There are some programs that are very melancholic. Some are very outgoing programs. Okay, that's fine. Some are very outgoing. They like people who are friendly, people who laugh, you know, talk a lot of stuff. All right. So your personality might not fit into their program, and they see it spot on from the way you talk, from the way you introduce yourself, the things you say. They're able to just figure out what kind of person you are. So it's less of the content, what you're saying. It's more of how is your energy being transferred through the screen. And it's worse now because it's virtual. At the time when you had to go in there physically, it was different because you had one-on-one interaction with people and you can feed off their energy, they can feed off your energy. Now you have to do it through the cameras, and it's horrible. Trust me, when I had a couple of interviews through the camera and it didn't make sense at all. We started the virtual interviews when I interviewed for fellowship. It didn't make sense, but people still got matched through the virtual interviews. You know, they could still feel who you are, you know, and the most important thing is in your first opening statement, for example, they ask you a question, tell me more about yourself. Your first opening statement, you should say something that should catch their attention. Something that should make the guy, whoever is listening to you, say, oh, let me listen to this guy, let me hear what he or she has to say. You know, so that's like a very important point. Secondly, is the fact that when you make an impression during a ranking, they need something to remember you. So, for example, I had a very good interview and I make the guy laugh, or I say something that's very remarkable. During a ranking, I'm like, oh, there was a guy who said something about XYZ, you know, something that triggers their memory when they're ranking. They have to remember you, right? Because even when they look at your pictures, what we do in our program is this. When we are ranking, we bring the pictures from the ERAS of the applicants and begin to show them, do you like this person? Do you like this person? So someone say, oh, I remember this guy. I had a very good interview with him. That's because you left an impression on that person. So that's the way it goes. You must leave an impression. As in, when they're done, they were like, oh, I can't forget this guy for this, you know, something like that. Then the mindset has to be different. They need you more than you need them. Always remember that. No matter what you think, they need you more than you need them. The program needs to get filled up. But if you go with the desperate mindset of, oh, I must get this, and you begin to sound like very desperate, you begin to sound like a yes man, everything they say, oh yes, they know, they feel like, oh, this one just wants to get residency. When he or she gets in, we'll see their true color, you know, that kind of stuff. So you need to give them the impression of, I like your program, I want to be here, but guess what? You need me more than I need you. And that's the truth. Always let your facial expression reflect that these people need me. Let me display to them, show them who I am. Because they're looking for people. That's what they do in interviews. They want people to fill that spot. Let me tell you, whenever we don't get the last interview, we didn't get some spot filled. My program director was edgy. Like, what are we going to do? You know, we need to invite more people for interviews. You know, they want to get their spot filled up. You know, so always remember that. Don't feel because maybe you have, for those who don't have maybe great scores, don't let it depress you. They're not doing you a favor. Just get it out of your mind, you know, just go straight on. For them to invite you for the interview, it means they saw something in you and they're interested in taking it. I don't care. At that point, your scores don't matter. Whether you wrote step 2 twice or CS 3 times, it does not matter. What matters at that point is that you invited me for an interview because you want to take me for your program. I don't care what my scores are. Let's discuss, let's talk about this interview. Do you want me or not? All right, so that's all about mindset. Be relaxed. Let them see your face is relaxed. All right, look into when you're talking to the camera, look into your camera. It's difficult. It's something you have to learn. As I'm talking to you, you notice I'm looking around. You can see my eyes are fluctuating. You know, I'm looking here at the point, I'm looking here. No, it should be straight on, like you're looking at the person in his eyes. For example, if Oma is looking me straight on, she hasn't taken her eyes off the camera. Very good. Henry is doing the same thing. Endurance is doing the same thing. Ugochi is very good. That's how you should have a conversation. It's like you're looking into my eyes. You know, that's very good for engaging. It's just part of the semantics, of trying to engage whoever is interviewing you per time. All right. What else did I write down? I think basically that's it. So these are some like the housekeeping rules. I just want to have that in mind. So when you talk, I really want you to talk with all this at the back of your mind, that, hey, have this impression, I want this guy, let him give me a reason to say I don't want him, or a reason to say I want him. What am I going to remember him for? What am I going to say about, what is he going to say that tomorrow? What is he going to say that tomorrow I'm going to say, oh, there's this guy that I had a conversation, we mentioned something about X, Y, Z, I like that guy, I want to keep him. Because they're going to rank, and they don't rank on the same day they interview. After the interview, they keep everything and they wait for the ranking whenever they want to rank, and they bring it out and go through the files. So that's how it goes. There's no scoring system, at least for my program. For other programs, I don't think so. There's no scoring system. It's just personal interactions and what they think about it. So having said that, I think we could start. Who is going first?
Dr. J, I don't mean to interrupt you, but there are some residents that heard that you are coming and they just came to give you moral support, probably chime in at the end of the day. Dr. AB is here with us. She's listening in the background. Dr. AB is a resident in pediatric. She's completed her pediatrics.
The baby is not a resident, the baby is an attendant.
She's an attendant, yeah. Sorry, Dr. AB.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Like the AB is an attendant.
AB, sorry. So, but the reason why we mentioned this is because I'm very big in networking. You can reach out to her, ask her any question. She's very willing to help as usual, but she may not have, her list must have been filled. She may not be able to recommend it to her program like I usually say, because it's very late. I know her list must have been filled, but she's very helpful. She can guide you in other aspects of residency.
Guys, if you have questions, just text me, all right? So I can respond to your questions in the process, okay?
Nice to meet everyone. Hi. Sorry, my camera is not on, but nice to meet everyone. It's AB. I'm currently working as a pediatric hospitalist in Oregon. Yeah, Oregon is a faraway state, but nice to meet everybody. Before we go proper, just to add to what Dr. OJ has said, a couple of things. Make sure you test your webcam. Try to buy an extra webcam, and if possible, try to get extra lighting, and then make sure you have your setup, your background should be, plain. You can put something a little bit nice, but not so, and then make sure you test run everything at least 30 minutes before your interview, and just be comfortable. Sorry? Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. So those are some of just your lighting should be good. You want to have, good makeup, your suit well ironed. Just make sure, everything is properly set up. I would really recommend getting an extra webcam. It makes some of the cameras on our computers don't do justice. You want to look sharp and all of that. So those are just like the preparatory part. And just know that you're going to be bored of what they call virtual interviews, but you have to just keep your focus because it could be tiring, really.
I agree.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, AB. AB, thanks. That was very helpful. Also, try and make sure wherever you're doing your interviews, it's very standardized. It looks, you don't have anything in the background. Edward, like your picture in the background is not too good for an interview, right? I can see your fridge. I can see your fridge behind. No, Henry, I like your interview spot. That's good. Endurance, that's fine, but let nobody come and open that whatever the stuff, the door behind you. Ugochi, yours is good. So try and create a scene that is just you and looks official. All right. No matter if see, you know what? Even if no one is going to see you, try and dress very sharp. Fine, they're going to see your upper body. That's fine, but try and look sharp. You know, for all my virtual interviews, I was looking as good as if you see me in real life. It helps the mindset. It helps the attitude. You know, so that's it. Okay, let's go. I have a couple of questions. The general question they usually would ask, and the ones I have been asked in all my interviews I've gone to. I'm sure ABA would have had similar experiences, and most of you here also would have had similar experiences. So who's ready to go first? So let's get at it. I'm going to be the interviewer. I have a program. I want to take you from a program, and I want to see whether you're a good fit for my program. So I'm just going to put myself in my program director's shoes, and let's see if you get the job. And we'll do 3 questions each. Let's see how you kill it. I will stop you. I'll just go one, boom, 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 like if it's the real thing. See, freestyle, express yourself with your full chest. You know, the way they say it in Nigeria.
Okay, I'll go first.
Your full chest. Okay, that's fine. All right. Hi, good morning. How are you? Welcome to, let me say my hospital is Brookdale. Welcome to Brookdale Hospital.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. So can you tell me your full names first?
My name is Endurance Osase.
All right. Okay, so tell me more about yourself.
Well, I grew up in southern Nigeria. I'm the third child of 7 children. After I completed my medical school, I went and did an internship. Internship lasted 1 year, where I did pediatrics, rotation, internal medicine, surgery, and OB-GYN. And after the completion of my internship, I have worked in the internal medicine department for the past 3 years, where I serve as a senior medical officer. My role as a senior medical officer helped me to appreciate patient management, and I get to teach some medical students and intern doctors. I pride myself as someone who is effective in communication. I'm able to communicate appropriately with my patients and establish a doctor-patient relationship. I also see myself as someone who is positive and embodying an internist. Over the past few years, the experiences I have gathered and gained will help me excel at your residency program. Outside of medicine, I am an avid lover of the gym. I love to lift weights, and I love to play table tennis. And I'm very glad that you give me this opportunity to interview at your program today. Thank you very much.
All right, as you said so much about yourself, could you tell me what's your greatest achievement so far?
My greatest achievement so far, okay. I think that will have to be working as a doctor in an isolation center for COVID-19, where I get to see and manage patients in COVID-19, one of the largest COVID-19 centers in my country. Yeah, that for me is one of the highest achievements so far.
And what makes it so remarkable for you?
Oh, what made it so remarkable for me was that I got to, at the height of the pandemic, when we had a lot of doubts and fear, I was able to step up and deliver my services as a doctor. I was able to cater for patients in that critical time. I was able to impact lives, and actually I got recognition by my state. Yeah, I was recognized by my state on live TV.
Okay, very good. Why do you think I should take you on my program?
Okay, that question. Well, I think I will be a wonderful resident in your program because I'm someone who is dependable. I'm someone who is dependable, someone who can fill up the gap whenever you need a resident, someone who is strong and someone who does not back down from challenges. I'm that resident that I believe that someone who can establish an effective communication with my team members. I can work in a team and independently, and I'm someone who has gained knowledge over the past few years and is ready to hit the ground running. So I believe that these qualities will make me a resident, a standard resident at your program.
All right, very good attempt. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. Very good attempt. Very, very good attempt. Who's next? Who's going next?
I'll go next.
Okay, fine. How are you? Hi, my name is Oswani. Could you tell me what's your name? What are your full names, please?
Hello, my name is Dr. Ifeoma Anaya.
Oh, nice to meet you. What Ifeoma Anaya? Oh,
yes.
Okay, beautiful name. Could you tell me much more about yourself?
All right. Thank you so much for the privilege to be here. So to reiterate, I'm Dr. Ifeoma Anaya. I am originally from Nigeria, the southeastern part of the country, and I'm currently living in Houston, Texas. I come from what I'll call a medical family, because my father is a doctor and my mom is a nurse, and that kind of passively influenced the career path I decided to take in life. And having worked as a general physician back home in Nigeria for some years, I decided to relocate to the United States to pursue my dream of becoming a world-class physician. On arrival, I availed myself of different opportunities to get myself acquainted with the healthcare system and also to identify with mentors in my desired specialty. And the journey has been interesting so far. And even with challenges, I'm still feeling very accomplished that I'm able to have made it to this point. And currently I do a lot of volunteering, writing research papers, and working as an editor with an online medical journals where I update medical material cutting across several specialties. Outside of medicine, I regard myself as someone that is both outdoor and indoor. I love to explore my environment. I love to hike. I love to ride my bike, looking at nature in general. And when I'm not outside, I'll be inside watching movies, cooking one of my numerous Nigerian dishes, or doing interior decorating, which is one thing I love a lot. So it is a privilege to be here interviewing for an opportunity to get to the next level of my medical training. And I hope I'm successful. Thank you.
All right, nice to meet you again. Could you tell me about your strengths and your weaknesses? I'd like you to start from your strengths, then you go to your weaknesses.
Okay, I'd like to take it this way. Let me give you a brief encounter to highlight my strengths. I remember when I was working in an underserved community as a general practitioner, and my attention was called upon to a patient in the ER because the ER physician was yet to show up. So I quickly ran, and then the quick assessment I made was showing that the patient had vaso-occlusive crisis from sickle cell anemia and was very pale. I knew immediately what to do. I took my samples, sent to the lab. It started treatment as quickly as possible. And to sum it all up, before I handed over that patient to the ER doctor, already having blood transfusion and stable. From this story, I showed good leadership qualities. I was able to come to the situation. I was able to know what to do. I was able to delegate responsibilities as much as possible to be able to give the best treatment to that patient. And I was able to work as a team, work with my co-workers as a team in order to get the patient out of that situation. Furthermore, to add to that, I was able to demonstrate my resourcefulness. I was working in an underserved area with limited resources, but I'm able to make good use of the limited resources available to me to bring about the best possible treatment to my patients. I also showed good knowledge and good skills because I was able to make a good assessment of the situation, and I knew what to do as quickly as possible. So these are some of the strengths, the many strengths I have, which I know will be useful to me and will help me to thrive in your program. When it comes to weaknesses, One major weakness I have, I would say, is that I find it very difficult to say no, because I always like to help people. I always like to take on opportunities. I always like to learn. But I've come to realize that when I'm doing all of this, I am depriving myself of my own personal mental health and self-care, which is equally important. So what I've tried to do over time is to have to be able to prioritize. Whenever opportunities like that come, I ask myself one question: is this important? Is this worth my time? Is this something I can do or someone else can do? That is the first filter. Then if it's something I want to do, I also try to have a calendar where I write out important events, timing them in order to know what is due when and when I'm supposed to turn in such when I'm supposed to finish that task. And if I see that taking on that would interfere with that, I just politely turn it down. As someone rightfully said, you can either say no directly or you say no indirectly to yourself by saying no to your mental health or to your self-care. So I have tried to strike a balance between the two, and that has helped me over time. So in summary, those are my strengths and one major weakness I have.
Okay. All right. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Okay, in 10 years, I should have finished my residency training and most likely my fellowship training. And it's my desire to work in the academia because it gives me a platform for self-development. My specialty is one in which is a continuous, I learn continuously, is a lifelong continuous learning process. And being in the academia gives me that privilege. It also gives me a good platform to teach. I'm a product of direct mentorship. I'm a product of people that taught me, and I would like to give that back. I love to teach a lot. It also makes me better. And it gives me the opportunity to also engage in research, both here in the United States and also in collaboration with my home country and Africa as a whole. So these are the reasons why, this is where I find myself in 10 years.
All right, nice to meet you, Ifoma, right?
Yes,
nice to meet you.
That's correct. Nice to meet you too.
You'll be hearing from us very soon. Thank you.
I'll appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, who's going next?
Dr. OJ, I'm thinking that you should give feedback on a.
So what I'm trying to do, I just how we can increase the engagement, and when we are doing feedback, it's going to be on all the questions. I'm noting down the feedback, and I'm sure maybe you're noting it down so that we can talk about each one's person's interview and talk about the things they would have done so that we can cover a lot of questions. That's what I'm trying to achieve.
Okay.
Okay, so OJ, I'm next.
Hi, how are you? What's your name, please?
Hi, thank you. My name is Henry Lukeman.
Oh, nice to meet you, Henry. What's your story?
Thank you very much. I was born in Nigeria where I completed my medical school and I finished top 10% of the class. And I had an internship on merit basis. Outside of the classroom, I enjoyed my medical career because of what I was able to achieve. I took up some leadership role. I was president in my class and hall governor in the hostel where I assisted students in achieving greater academic heights. After this, I also completed some residency in family medicine. I brought this spirit to the US, and in readying myself for residency, I have done an externship for 3 months at Atlanta Medical Center. And beyond this externship, presently I work as a senior clinical research coordinator with Emory Hospital, where I see patients on a daily basis. I also work with the EMR. I'm a team player and I have leadership qualities. And I believe that all this I can bring to bear in my preparedness to start residency at your center. And let me say that I'm very excited to be here and to be given this opportunity to talk to you today. Thank you very much.
That's fine, thank you. Can you talk about one of your accomplishments as a leader? Can you tell me, you just said something about your leadership qualities, and can you tell me one of your accomplishments that you've had as a leader?
Thank you very much. During my time as a medical school, I was the president of the Medical Student Association. And during this time, we were tasked with hosting about 2,000 students from all over the country. What I did at the time was to create subcommittees, and I was the head of the committees. I held meetings with the committees, transportation committee, cooking committee, hospitality committee, and all the committees. What we're able to achieve was a smooth running of hosting of 2,000 people. In this capacity, my leadership qualities was exemplified. My team spirit, being able to work with my my co-students was exemplified, and being able to achieve results in smooth organization and in leadership and team spirit. All these, I believe, are qualities that are very helpful for me as a resident in your program. Thank you.
All right. And finally, for you today, could you, what do you do apart from medicine?
Thank you very much. I'm an outdoor person. First of all, back in medical school, I was the skipper for medical school football team. I was the captain of the team. I was responsible for maintaining the health of the medical school team. So presently, I go to the gym every day. I run 2 miles every day before I go to work. I go hiking on outdoors. I like wine tasting. I go wine tasting with my fiance sometimes. And I also go to the movies. All this help me to relax and put a bridge between, help me maintain a good work-life balance. And this work-life balance, I believe, is what I bring to bear as a person of balance perspective that I bring to residency. Thank you very much.
All right, very, very, very good attempt. Very good attempt. So let's start the feedback session. Abby, do you want to say something before I go?
Please go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go ahead first? Okay, fine. So I'll start from Henry. And I think everybody made the same, a very good attempt. Everybody made a very good attempt. It's not easy being put on the spot. It's not easy, I must say. All right. So it's something, it's a skill you have to learn. You guys were very composed, you know, but if I could read the body language, I would say Ifeoma was more comfortable compared to Henry and Endurance. Like comfortable, engaging me, being very comfortable. All right. So you don't have to show, fine, everybody's tensed up. They are tensed up too. So you are tensed up, they are tensed up. All right. So somebody has to be the tiebreaker. Somebody has to look relaxed and smile. Henry didn't smile, and it was just giving me the everything. Smile. I said, engage them. Ifeoma was smiling all through, which was very good. Endurance was smiling at the point when the questions got tougher. He stopped smiling. You know, so smile, like that's it. That's a very good smile. It's charming. Look, that's nice. It reminds them, it makes them happy. Everybody has been seeing all day, have been squeezing their faces and feeling like, oh, the world is coming to an end because they need residency. And there is this young guy smiling all through, answering the questions. You know, it's charming. Even though you don't want to smile, fake it. All right, till the interview is over. So that's number one. Number two is the fact that almost everybody, when I say, tell me about yourself, you guys are reading out your CVs. Remember, whoever is interviewing you has your CV in the front of them. They've seen everything already. They know you went to medical school. They know you were born in Nigeria. They know you did this. They know you did that. So why do you have to tell me again? And funny, that the answer to that question should be answered in less than 30 seconds. But you guys answered that question in almost a minute. Ifeoma was not going to stop. You know, you went on and on and on. No, that's too long. I forgot about some things at the point. I got bored. You know, that's the point. When you bored, and you know, these guys are very, it's not like us that we're very verbose. They're very, at the point they switch off. You know, you need to really meet crazy interviewers. At the point I'm like, oh boy, cut the crap and tell me something real. You know, don't read your CVs, like make it real. Tell me who you are. I'm XYZ, I was born in Nigeria. I came to America how many years ago? So many years ago. And I think I'm being a better version of myself. I'm this kind of person. I don't care what your CV is. So tell me about yourself, meaning tell me who you are. So you can introduce the fact that you're a team player, you're someone who pays attention to details, you're someone who you're very focused on what's important at several times, but you know that's the kind of energy you need to begin in the residency program. You pay very good attention to details when it comes to patient. You never take no for an answer, but you're always focused to get the job done. And you think you have an infectious personality, which is what you think every program would want to look for in a resident. I'm done. I'm done. I don't care where you did, whether you are a clinical coordinator, whether you did fellowship back home in Nigeria. It's too much information. TMI, you're reading your CVs for them. They have it in front of them. So it's almost like that question means tell me what is not in your CV. That's the meaning of that question. And funny, that's your impression to buy the interviewer. Whatever you say in those few state sentences of yours is what the guy is going to say, I want this guy. I'm telling you, it's not you don't have to wait to the end. I told you they're not big on the content. It's what's coming out, the quality of what you're saying. In those first statements, none of you said something that I can remember offhand. I remember all you said. But what I'm saying is something striking. Ifeoma talked about being an interior decorator. Where did that go to? Talked about cooking. You're very good in cooking. You know, these programs, they do potluck, you know, right? In my program, they do potluck. You have to cook a lot of dishes. Where did I tell you to tell me about something you do, you know, about why do you want to take, you know? Yeah, I noted that yeah. Tell me something you do. I asked you a question, but I was thinking you were going to throw in what you do, your interior decoration, how you make things appear differently. You know, you could walk into a room and when you walk out, you could turn it around. You know, it's striking because everybody's talking about medicine. Who's going to talk about something else? You know, so that's another focus that we need to talk about. Cushioning.
I thought we were coming to residency to see patients. Are we coming?
Oh my dear, these guys they're bored. See, we're bored. In fact, there was a guy who came and said he plays the guitar. And we're like, oh, really? The guy comes to say he watched Star Wars. And the guy was like, the interviewer loves Star Wars. And they started talking about Star Wars. And that guy got hired. Star Wars got him hired, my guys. He said, oh, I like watching movies. The guy interviewer asked, what kind of movie? He said Star Wars. I guess Star Wars. And that was it. They got talking. And the guy got hired. He didn't say anything medical. All right. So that should be the focus. You don't know what you're going to say that's going to put that door. But trust me, it is not medical. Whether you manage sickle cell, see, the lady who's going to interview you just came out of a ward round. She's tired of that ward round. She saw 5 sickle cell patients. What do you want to tell her about sickle cell anymore? Really? You know, she just wants to hear something different. You know, she wants to feel good that she came to an interview. She also wants to feel good, just like you want to feel good. So tell me something interesting. Tell me something nice. Tell me about interior decoration. Tell me how you made a difference in decorating something and you got an award for it. And you made something good come out of nothing.
If you truly have the interest and progress of this church in your heart, then we must work according to this agreement as it is binding.
Can you turn off your microphone, please?
Then I will tell you that the church is my church.
Eddie, can you mute everybody, please? This church service.
All right. Okay, so that's it. So that's first question, keep it short. I asked everybody the same question because I wanted to see how you respond to that. And that goes for everybody listening to what I'm saying right now. They're going to ask you that, everybody's going to get that question. Tell me about yourself. And what the interviewer makes is tell me something that's not on your CV. All right. And be creative. Be creative. What I mean, be creative. Think about, yes, you could say, oh, I'm a team player. I like to achieve goals. When I set my, you know, say something that correlates to something not on your CV. So whether you did a residency back in Nigeria, what's going to play? She knows, she just saw it. All right. She wants to know why she wants to hire you, right?
And before I did residency. Go and sit down somewhere. I did residency.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, so that's the point. So that's your impression. That first statement is your impression to buy to buy whoever is interviewing you. And as I said, keep it short, 30 seconds, time yourself. Don't go along saying everything, all right? So that's number one. Number two, where do you see yourself in 10 years? That was a very good try. I should be an attendant, all right, in 10 years, right? In my choice specialty. I want to do a fellow. Tell them what is real. Academia, I can't picture academia. Everybody wants to, some of you want to do fellowships, right? Tell them if you want to do a fellowship, let it be like what typically residents do. Don't say anything outside what residents do. Residents finish residency. They're either going to primary care or going to be hospitalist, or they do fellowship and become specialists afterward. So tell them just like that. If you have something heroic or great afterward, you could add it on, but it must make sense. It must make sense. For example, I want to be an attendant, then I hope to pursue a fellowship in gastroenterology. My reason is because I really love the GI. I think I could make a difference. And I have the opportunity of going back to my country to kind of improve. That's fine. I say you must have a goal. That means you must have thought it through, because don't just come and say something that is not realistic. But the point of the matter is, say what happens. I should be an attendant, and I hope to be in primary care with emphasis on ensuring excellent patient care. Say something that is real. Say something that's, and then try and say something outside medicine. I also pursue an MBA. I think I also have something in leadership. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's very good also. So let's not be like, oh, academia, it's vague. I can't tell you back now, this is what you said that you want to do. Academia is academia, That's what I'm saying. So it goes for everybody. Where you want to be, think about it. You think about it. Where do you want to be in 10 years? In 3 years, you've done residency. That's seven more years. What are you going to do in 7 more years? You're going to do a fellowship. You should be done with fellowship, right? And after that, what are you going to be doing? So think about it. What they want to see is, have you thought about your future? That's all. Have you thought about your future? It's what's important to you is not just getting to residency, but you also think about my future. That's it. So you just want to have an idea. For example, if you say, I want to do primary care, and it's a program that is big on primary care, they're happy because they're like, oh boy, this one's going to stay with us. Fine. If it's a program that has a fellowship in cardiology, they're happy because they're like, oh, we have a cardiology fellowship. If you want to do interventional radiology, for example, and they don't have it, they're like, this one doesn't fit. So they're trying to see how you fit in, right? So know the program, know what you want to do, and put it forward to them. It's easy. What do you want to be in 10 years? I should be an attendant. That if you give me a residency opportunity to do residency program, I should be an attendant. Afterwards, I want to pursue a fellowship. I want to pursue a fellowship in XYZ. And the reason, because cardiology has always been my thing. Talking about your specialty has always been my thing. I think interventional cardiology is where I make more of a difference. I think about patients with myocardial infarction, with STEMI, with these, and I think I could make a difference in this patient population. And in fact, improve patients' outcome. Boom, I'm done. I'm done. That's it. All right. Even if you want to do academia, be sure what you want to do. What kind of academia? I want to be a professor. Professor here is not what professor is back then in Nigeria. So professor means when you're lecturing medical students, you are a professor. They start as being an associate professor, then there's a way they now make you a full clinical professor, whatever they do. So you teach sometimes, and you do few hours and see patients for few hours. So you could tell them, I want to teach. I love teaching. I think residency would be a platform for me to become an attendant, to get an opportunity to teach medical students, to teach medicine to medical students. That's it. All right. I want to be responsible for training the next generation of doctors. That's always where I've seen myself, because my parents are both professors of medicine. So I think it's a family business to become a professor like my parents. It's all I've known, it's all I want to be. But make sure that the program you're going into is a university program. Because if you're telling the community program you want to be a professor, they'll be like, where is this one? Where are you going to be a professor in this? Because like my program doesn't have, we have medical students, but it's not a university-based program, right? So if you're saying I want to be a professor, I'm looking at you like, I don't think you can get that proficiency in my program. you're not a good fit. All righty. My program, if you want to be a hospitalist, if you want to be a primary care, if you want to do fellowship, yes, you could say that for my program. I want to do fellowship, I want to do this, and this is why I want to do it. Full stop, boom, and leave it there. All right, so that's for when you've been 10 years. Why should I take you? Really, you should smile. That question should come with a very good smile. You know, as in, so infectious that like, I said, you should come with a smile. That's it. And Joran, that's the smile. I said, smile, receive that question. Why should I take you? It's almost like, tell them why I should take you. And don't be nervous about it. I am creative. I'm super. I think I will make a difference to your program. I bring wealth of experience. Having practiced in a tropical environment, I think I bring that. I am a good cook. I think I'm going to bring my delicacy. You know, say something, even if it doesn't pertain to medicine, but something that can make a difference in that program. You must have researched about the program. But that should be one of the easiest questions. Why should I take you? I think I would make a difference in your program with my skill set. I'm very good at this. I'm a team player. I never say, I'm very meticulous. I pay attention to details. And I think that sets me apart from all other candidates. And I think I'm a good fit for your program because of this. And whatever other extras you have, but keep it short. 30 seconds, you're done. Why should I take you? Don't tell me a whole long story. I'm going to be like, oh, really? So now you see, it has to be short. There's something about these guys here. They don't like too much stories, you know, and engage the whoever is talking to you. Keep it short. So that the person talks more. The shorter you talk, you speak, the more questions you get, the more you engage the person, the more whoever is able to remember that they had a conversation with you. Trust me, there's going to be a place for you to bring in your skills. Okay. Henry, medical school, the guy has your CV in front of him. Medical school is too far to talk about your leadership, what you've done in leadership. Everything leadership should be at least current. I'll explain to you. Currently, maybe you are a clinical director, wherever you are. Talk about that. A problem came up. Think of something, be creative. You know the problems in your sphere right now. It may not be 100%, as I said, you're not lying, but it's not 100% accurate in that sphere. But build a story whereby you were at the top and you had to define roles, monitor, evaluate, give reports, and you got a commendation. Done. You are done. That's it. So there was a problem. I was the head of it. I was everybody, because of so skill set I had, it was given to me. I had to work with a team of 5 people. I defined the roles for everyone. We monitored. We collected the results. We made sure we had this. We made the goals. We made the timelines. And at the end, we presented the fact and we made a difference. Though there were a few lapses, yeah, you read, right? Everything's not 100% perfect. There were a few lapses where we got a commendation. Full stop. That role taught me something that I cannot do it alone. I work better in teams. I'm able to multitask. I'm versatile. And it gave me accuracy in able to pursue a problem to the end and bring direct and factual solution. Full stop. It's definable, it's smart, and the person, whoever can listen and say, okay, that's true. This kind of person I want in my program. All right, that's it. About the medical school is far. And whoever cannot really relate what delegates, you know, they don't remember these people, the way they think are different. Delegates of like, oh, what delegates? Everything delegates the kind of food. Like, so you have to, you know, you know, so that's it. So try and do that. Okay, I think that's all I had about your stuff. I said about academia, I talked about that. What did I say? Oh, fine. There's something remarkable you said. I come from a family of doctors. Tell me who you are. That's very good. My father is a professor, a clinical professor of medicine. My mom also, and my brothers are doctors. So I became a doctor. I was chosen before I was born. Something like that. It's catching. It's like I was chosen to do medicine before I was born. So here I am. I became a doctor, and afterwards, I did this, but I still enjoy this part of my life. So something that's catching because it's almost like everybody are doctors. And if whoever is interested in you, they're going to ask you, are your parents here in America? Or do you have family here that doctors here? So that's it. Okay. Having said that, your greatest achievements, everybody, COVID-19 is, people are using COVID-19 to shine. It's very good, but it must be very good. I think it must be good enough for whoever listens to you to say, wow, you know, your greatest achievement should be great to you before it's great to me, right? So I should see the sparkles in your eyes that, oh boy, this is great to this guy. Says, whatever you tell me, I believe. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not saying the COVID-19 was a bad idea to spawn. When you throw that stuff out, you must make it believable. So during my interview, when I interviewed for my fellowship, it was during COVID pandemic. So I think they asked me a question. I think I used COVID. And I was like, COVID was a time when everything was uncertain. I started speaking because I know, I see, you know, just as you experienced COVID in Nigeria, I experienced COVID in America. All right, we had different challenges. So I'll tell you about my challenge. So I told whoever I was speaking, I said, COVID was a very challenging time. The reason because we didn't know what it was. We're there hitting our heads on the hallway. We're scared of the virus. We're afraid to go into rooms. But at the point, we found out that we were left there, nurses had run away. But at that point, I had to confront my own fears. What if I die? We had no PPEs. And whoever was saying was like, yes, it started as a conversation. She was like, yes, I had the same experience too. You know, it was horrible. We started talking to each other. And funny, it was not even it was not a conversation. It ended up being a conversation, not even an answer to a question. So that's the way you approach a question. Whoever is interviewing you should have a similar experience. And then you guys start gisting. And that's it. That's the end of that interview. That's not even interview anymore. And whoever is going to remember, like, that guy or that person, that was very good impression that whoever left on me. So the point is, whenever you say something like that, make sure it is something, make it believable. Make me believe your role. What did you do? How was it the greatest achievement? You know, whose state of California recognized it? You know, those kind of things. I say it's vague. It's not measurable. You know, it's not, let it be personal to you. And let it be something that transformed, you know, how you think, you know, change something about you. Even talking about it, even you should be like, wow, I should see your eyes. I'm like, this is great to this guy, even though you just lifted a pen from the floor and that was it. It should be great to you before it can be great to me, right? So I'm not saying it's not bad, but you have to work on it. If that's what you want to say, because you might be asked, I was asked in my interview, you might be asked, that's a good spot. Okay, fine. What's your greatest strength and what's your weaknesses? I like your weaknesses, very good play. But it was too long. At the point I was like, so much for weaknesses, you know, and so much for strength. Don't tell me a story, just go on. I'm goal-oriented, spot on. And don't repeat the question after me. And don't say anything like thank you when they ask you a question. It's not formal. Like when they ask you a question, you say, oh, thank you for that question. No. You could say, if you say it once, maybe in the opening part, that's fine. I'm done. Thank you. Have a nice day. It should be like, oh, tell me about your greatest strength. And I'm like, I'm goal-oriented. I'm very focused. I'm very detailed. I do this. I love interior decoration. I think is one of my greatest strengths because I'm able to leave a room different than I left it, than whoever left it. And I make a difference wherever I go. That's my strength. What's my weakness? I love your weakness because most people use that. I use that same line that I don't know how to say no. I used it too during my interview and it works all the time. Everybody can adopt that one as their weakness. That's fine. That's like the easiest thing you could play around with, saying that, oh, and I like what you did at the end, that I worked on it and I'm better. Oh, fine, but that was too long. You know, I don't know how to say no. I take on responsibilities and overwhelm myself. But I'm learning how to set priorities. And I think that has transformed the way I do. And, you know, I engage people, I engage opportunities differently. Full stop. Mental health, you want to play that card? Okay, fine. So that kind of mental health, throw it out. You know, we all know how mental health and everything. But you get my point. My point is you need to be aggressive. You need to be excited. You need to like the interview, though it's virtual. You need to continue going like if you like being here. Another question they can ask you is, why this program? Why did you choose this program? All right, it's a very common problem. It's a very common question. And most people actually go off on this question. Edward.
I'm here.
Why did you choose my program? You're not on the spot, so take your time. You're not on the spot, just talk freely.
I haven't been here for about a couple of months, about 10 months, doing this, my rotation, my externship, and my research program. I've come to learn the beauty and the fine details in this program. Details like the quality at which the attendants teach the residents, they pay attention to the residents, like the mentorship is one-on-one. I enjoy that a lot, and I want to be part of that. I've seen I've seen the impact that is.
I don't smile. Engage me. Smile as you're talking. You're saying something good.
The impact that
yeah.
So I've also seen the impact that we have made.
Continue that smile. As you're talking, continue that smile. You can talk and smile through. I see they talk to your wife.
Okay. I've also seen the impact that we've made in the community, how we have reduced the disease burden by our various intervention, the quality projects that we have done. I'm very passionate.
Not a frown again. Engage me. Yeah, continue. So it's something
about community.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about community care, and I wish to also continue that in my residency here. Another thing I love about this program is that it's located in a rural setting. I've had experience in rural practice all my life, and here feels like home. The sound of the bed, the people I meet, simple, easy to approach with. The diversities that I've seen, the diversity, the uniqueness in the diversity of people. We have people from various races and ethnicity that has mirrored the experience that I've had before. Yeah, these are some reasons why I want to.
Perfect.
Continue.
Very good. Very good window for me to say what I have to say next. Good job, Edward. As I said, smile through your questions. All right. Sometimes you forget. Just look a way to smile through your questions. Your program is located in New York. New York is the hallmark of diversity. It's been a dream to be in New York because your program is situated at a place that's underserved, the kind of patient population that comes here. I think I'm going to learn a lot in this program. I'm going to be a better doctor in your program. I'm going to be a better attendant. I'm going to be one of the best attendants in your program. It gives me an opportunity to see varied illnesses and diseases because they have a varied or widespread population. And again, I have a friend.
OJ, you're not smiling, no?
No, I'm not answering your question. What it looks. I'm not answering your question. See this smile. When you talk now, where this smile go when you talk? Okay, fine. Now you have to also say if you know someone in that program, put it in that way that I have friends or have in the program who have said beautiful things about this program. That thing opened the door for me, Sharp. They asked me who. Actually, it was the code I used. I did not know anybody in that program. I just said it. But luckily, before I went in, I saw the list of their program, people in their program, and I saw one guy who was Nigerian. So I fapped the person's name so that I will look for the person later after the interview. And I don't know when it came out of my mouth during the interview. And the program director asked me, who do you know in my program? Oh boy, I almost entered the ground. Someone just said, but you have the name there now. So I just called the person, like, oh, that guy's a good resident. And now she wrote the person's name very close to my name on my file. But when I came out, I was looking for that person everywhere, like, hey, I better go. Let me tell you, I I said this so that when they ask you, you say, I don't know this guy. But my point is, if you know someone in that program and the person is well respected, don't go call somebody who is a riffraff. Don't know that, oh, that guy, you know that guy, you're done. We're gonna kick you with anybody associated with this guy. We don't want them. But the point is, I've heard so much from this person or my friend in this. I have a friend in the program who said so many beautiful things. I want to experience the kind of things he says about this program. And they could ask, what does he say about the program? Obviously, that's your point to shine. He talks about the attendance. He talks about mentorship. He talks about this. You know, those are the good points like Edward have brought. He talked about their emphasis on community care, their emphasis on this, their ICU is good. You know, say things, hype their ego. You know, like my program, oh, we have good ICU, we have good mentorship, Coran Fisher's program, good teaching, board pass rate is good. That's it. Okay, so that answers that question of why I want to be, why you want, why this program? That's another common question they like asking. So in everything we've said here today, I know AB has some other things she's gonna say, and I'm going to allow for feedback from whoever has more feedback. But everything I've said here is construction. Go back and construct you have to construct whatever you're going to say. Make it fluid. Talk to the mirror times and times and times over, smiling, looking at yourself in the mirror and smiling over and over and over again. All right. That's number one. Number two, keep it short. Keep it short. I can assure you, everybody will get a question of tell me about yourself. Everybody gets that question. That one, that's where they say, I want this resident. And that's the truth. All the interviews I've done, that's opening statement was where we decided we're going to keep that person. I'm telling you, that was the truth. That was where we decided. Then there are going to be times whereby you're going to break out, they ask questions. See, it's not the person that asks the questions that gets taken on. If you don't have questions, it's okay. Except you're doing one-on-one and the interviewer asks you, do you have any questions for me? Please make sure you have thought about that question. And the question is a good question. The question does not make you get residency. But if you truly have a question, please ask a question. All right? There are common questions now, like, oh, how has COVID-19 impacted your training, your didactics? All right? Because everybody now wears a mask. Everybody's doing virtual conferences. You know, a lot of things have changed. So you can ask that question. That's a very good question. They will tell you that board pass rate. Don't ask them what's your board pass rate. Don't do that. All right. They will tell you or you would have heard before. So coming to ask whoever is interviewing you what's your board pass rate. It's an off question. All right. So ask a question, but make sure it's a question that makes sense. Don't make it highfalutin. Or you can ask about accommodation. It shows that you want to really come that. Especially when you're talking to the residents, ask about accommodation, ask about their call schedules, ask about real life or real deal, real stuff. Okay. And basically that's it. Basically. Okay.
So, Dr. Oji, thank you. Just to add about questions, please don't ask annoying questions. There's some questions that are really annoying that people ask, and don't be the one guy or the one girl that asks questions in every, you're just the one that keeps asking questions over and over again. Those guys irritate everybody. That's the ones that don't give other people a chance, especially if it's like a group session before they break you guys out. Just keep your questions, simple, and don't ask questions that are already in your welcome manual or on their website. You need to just ask, and sometimes some questions just come along the way when you're interacting with someone, maybe you didn't know that this person was involved in global health or something, and then you find out and then you ask, oh, how often the residents take these trips to Africa and stuff like that. It's something they probably did not put in their website. So that's it for questions. Usually we recommend that you put down those questions you put down those questions before interviews. You know, like, don't go there with a blank mind. Have some questions, like if you're interviewing in 5 places, they don't know each other. Just have some questions you have prepared already. Like, this is a constant question I will ask, or something like that. Then for Edward, for your answer, first of all, your voice was very low. And I always tell people in interviews, your tone should fluctuate, you know, your tone should fluctuate with the question you are being asked. And when you are responding, if there's an exciting part about your answer, let your voice come up, or let your voice sound excited. You know, if there's something down, your voice can go down a little bit, but you need to be audible. Your facial expression needs to be active, you know, and don't be too slow in talking. These people are people, like sharp, sharp. They don't have time for you are counting your words. They want you to just be eloquent. They want you to keep them going, you know. And like Dr. OJ said, when you know you have a successful interview is when the guy doesn't exhaust all the questions on his list. In the sense that the interview, you're now in control of your interview. So that's what everybody should strive to do. In the sense that from the answer you give, they're able to now ask a question from your answer. If your interview is going, so tell me about yourself, you talk. Why this program, you talk. What do you want to be in the next 10 years, you talk. Except there are some guys, there are some professors or guys that are just dull. When I mean dull, as in they're not interesting people. It doesn't matter what you say, they are not moved. But if your interview is going like that, it means you have to re-strategize. They shouldn't be finishing their questions. They should be picking up stuff from what you have said. And then keeping it short. Dr. OJ has emphasized that a lot. In as much as I agree with Dr. OJ about, you know, saying things out of your CV, but you want to make sure that you're selling yourself well. It's not so much about the academics. You want to sell your qualities. And for example, if you're talking about your strength, you can just say, oh, I'm goal-oriented, I'm focused, I'm resilient, you know, something like that, for example. So you want to give them a scenario that they can imagine, you know, not just, but it should be short, you know, not just stating the facts. You know, you want to be able to tell them where you have been able to apply these your strengths. So tell me about yourself, keep it short, and you can go from the beginning of your story and just divert. So I can say, oh, I was born into a large family, and growing up in that family, there were a couple of things I learned. I learned, you know, I learned team spirit, sharing, you know, conflict resolution, and all of these have guided me along my path, blah, blah, blah. So that's, you know, it's a little bit casual, but it's serious. You know, you don't want to spend so much time talking about, yes, you want to talk about your cooking, interior decoration, well, highlight it a little bit here and there, but you want to also be serious, even if it's outside your CV, sell yourself in that way. And then Dr. Henry, you talked about, I felt like at the beginning of your answer, you were talking more about your achievements, you know, like you were top 10. It's good, but sometimes they're like, oh, yeah, you know, it's all good, but you want to just, I don't know how to put it now, you know, you want to be more recent about, you know, what you have done so far, more than what it was before, you know. You want to be humble, at the same time confident. That's one thing about interviews. You want to get that balance where you don't sound, it's nobody's intention, you know, it's what it is, but you want to get to that point where you don't sound like that, and you know, you are confident, but you're able to balance it with, you know, so that they don't, because many Asian people, they do that a lot, you know, they are very high high, they have very high whatever in they have achieved a lot. So they do that a lot. But basically, interviews takes a lot of practice. It doesn't stop you from, you can go home, write your points. You don't have to recite it. Like Dr. OJ said, I think everybody needs to be more relaxed. The fluctuation in your tone, your smile, and I don't want us sounding like we're reciting something, If they don't have that fluctuation, it sounds like you're just reading a script or something. Just relax. That's the major thing. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. There is also another resident that also volunteered
Oh.
at time. I just want to introduce her because she's been listening in the background. She's been very supportive of this group. Dr. Vivian. Dr. Vivian is in Chicago. She's in internal medicine in Chicago. Like I said, we're big in networking. You can also reach out to her, say hello to her, ask her for guidance. But like I usually add, she may not be able to recommend you to her program because her list by this time may have been filled. But she will be ready to give other help in hand. Dr. Vivian, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having me here. I don't know if can I just say a few things? Not much. Everything has been said already. So about the questions and the answers, I don't have anything else to add. I believe our senior colleagues have already said everything, very detailed feedback. The only thing, I just took note of a few things with regard to each person. Endurance, your answers were beautiful. The only thing is, I noticed you're probably on one of these office chairs that you're able to roll around on. So I noticed that you were basically swinging side to side. You might want to reduce that, and if it would help you, maybe have a seat that wouldn't let you swing side to side, so you don't look like you're just playing. But I mean, you had a very relaxed demeanor, which is good, but you don't want it to seem like you're just swinging side to side. And like they mentioned already, you want to use anecdotes a lot, not a lot, but at least in important places. So have examples that they can use to remember you. You didn't have examples in your answers, other people did, but you didn't have examples that can help people remember what you said. So just find a few places to have very key examples of real life things that people can hold on to. Then informal, like everyone else said, your answers were good, but they were too long. If you can try to just practice and reduce the amount of time you spend answering your answers, things like Dr. Osini said it already, the cooking that you talked about. I would personally just pick one Nigerian dish, maybe something popular like jollof rice, and be like, oh, this is my thing. So coming into the program, I will definitely supply you guys just something interesting that they can remember. And everybody's going to be like, oh, jollof rice, what's jollof rice? Even in my program, everyone always, because I'm always talking about it, so everyone is always like, jollof rice, you have to bring us some jollof rice. So just something people can remember that you said. But basically, I think for you, the main thing is time management, but your answers were really good. Then one other thing, I think this is more applicable to Henry and endurance too. Well, endurance, yours is a bit fixed now, but Henry, you're basically looking down on the computer. So Dr. Sweni, sorry, I don't know, I hope I'm not destroying your name, but when he was on, you could see that he was at the same level as the computer. So they will, I remember when I was preparing for interviews, they'll tell you to put books or whatever it is you can use to have just make sure the camera is at your eye level. So it doesn't look like you're looking down on them. So you don't want it to be like, so just have that in mind when you are, when it's D-Day, basically. I think that's it for me. Everything else was said, so there's no point wasting our time and going over it, but that's about it. So thank you guys for having me, and I wish everyone all the best. And the most important thing, I know that we are all men of different faith, but I would say this with all the confidence in the world: you cannot miss it when you go with God. You can't miss it. So whatever it is, whatever strengths it is that you have, whatever scores you think you have, even if you feel you don't have all the qualifications, you take this matter to God and have him go on this journey with you. You can't miss it. You can't get it wrong. So this is the time to hold on to God. This is a time to just hold on to him. So good luck to everybody. Thank you.
Before we go, I must say those are very, very great points that this beautiful ladies just raised. Very good points. I think everyone should remember that going forward. Very good points. I couldn't have said it better than the way they said it. Kudos to you guys. Thank you so much. For those who attempted, Dr. Vivian, thank you so much. For those who attempted the interviews, Henry, Ifoma, Endurance, you guys, I will rank all, but three of you, I'll rank three of you in the same spot. All right, you guys did very well. I don't know, anyone has a question, quick question that you want us to talk about before we go?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you.
Okay, so you said in the beginning that there's no formula, there's no scoring system for getting ranked.
Okay, so what I meant was during the interview, for the ranking, they have the way they rank residents, okay? Based on your scores, your year of graduation, each program differ in the way they rank their applicants, all right? For whatever they do, right? But what I mean during the interview, all right? Whoever is interviewing you is not scoring like, 10 points. Oh, he was very eloquent, 5 points. Some programs do, but majority of programs do not. So don't get edgy to the form. Am I scoring points? Or the person is writing. Is he? There was an interview I went to, the guy was sleeping. But you had to continue talking. When you're done, you wake up and ask you another question and go back to his sleeping position. Yes, it happens. Some, I'd go to be writing, you just be talking to the air like you're talking, they just be writing what you're writing. You don't know what they're doing. But don't think about it that I'm being scored. Talk like I'm conversing, I'm talking to somebody, I'm talking to my friend. You can imagine, I used to imagine one of the best people, my best friend. So I'm just having a conversation. It puts you at ease. That's the whole point. All right. It's just for according to Ifoma, your mental health, so that you are calm, you can interact better. You're not like reading from a book, you're not like, feeling very tense, that's what I want. That's the mindset I want you to go there with. These programs need you. Have that in the back of your mind. The program needs you. God is for you. Dr. Vivian brought that point. And for them to invite you for an interview means there's something they saw about you that they're interested in. So everything is working for you. Always have that in the back of your mind. Okay, so that's it. That's the mindset. But when they rank it, they have various programs have what they rank with. My program is a pre-match program. On the spot, we decide I want this person. That's it. It's different from other programs. But don't have the mindset I'm being scored. Oh, how did I do that question? Oh, I think that I didn't answer that question too well. They won't score me well. No, it doesn't work like that. It's an interview. Get to know. You just want to make sure you don't carry guns or you don't smoke weed. That kind of stuff. That's the whole aim of the interview. All right. I'm just on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Please, OJ, did they allow shisha in your program?
What? Tell me.
Did they allow smoking of shisha in your program?
No, not yet. Maybe when you come.
Dr. OJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for this session. Please, I have a question.
Please shoot.
The question about where you see yourself in 10 years. For those that are sure that they are going to pursue a fellowship and can talk about the specialty they are going to talk, they want to pursue, it's fine. But for people like me that I probably will say I want to be a hospitalist because I'm not yet sure if I want to pursue a fellowship. What is special about being a hospitalist? I actually don't know. Like, what will I talk about? Will I just say I want to be a hospitalist and that's it? Like for those that want to pursue a fellowship, they can talk about, oh, they like seeing patients with MI and all that. But for hospitalists, is there anything special about being a hospitalist?
Yes, a lot of things are special about being hospitalist. Now, there's something that you have to know about the hospitalist. The hospitalists coordinate all the specialties, meaning that whatever specialty you're calling, you decide what specialty to call for your patient. For example, if you admit a patient with MI, you decide to call the cardiologist, right? Okay. You decide to call the, what do you call it? Call the GI doctor for a patient with GI bleed. So the hospitalist is like the one who owns the patient. You are the provider in the hospital. So it's a very big deal. You're the one that, you are the face of the community. You are the face of the hospital. In fact, in my hospital, we have an advert where like the attendants took a picture. Guess what? Only the hospitalists appear in that picture because the hospitalists are the one that define the hospital. So I want to be a hospitalist. I want to take care of patients. I want to deliver premium healthcare. I want to improve the outcome of patients. I want to be the face of the hospital. I want to give the community a great name. So you're the one who feeds the community. They will all know you in the community if you're in a community hospital, right? So that's typically what the hospitalist does. They run the hospitals, all right? So the specialties, like they coordinate all other specialties who come to see the patients.
All right, okay.
So
thank you very much.
Talking as a pediatric hospitalist, or speaking as a pediatric hospitalist, you can, like, what you can easily say is in the next 10 years, I see myself working as a hospitalist in a community hospital, or if you want to be in a large academic hospital. I enjoy seeing, I enjoy caring for ill patients, at the same time seeing a variety of cases with different levels of, acuity, and being able to learn from all specialties at the same time, being able to prefer solutions. So you're able to talk about the fact that you like you like a little bit of, acute care or long-term care, and then you just want to see everything and you learn and all of that. So that's basically hospitalist.
Okay, thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good evening. Thanks again for the session. It's been very helpful. My question is basically, like, what do you do if you get a question that like stumps you? You go blank, it's difficult, you haven't thought about it. Like, can you just be like, I don't know? Or like, how do you address those kind of?
No, you can't say you don't know. So what I would tell you, I've had that experience. It was a question that's really stunned me. So what I did, I took some time. I thought about it. So whoever would see you, like, you took some time, but you're smiling, you're not looking frazzled. Like, think about it. If your response has to be minimal, you have to give the most minimal response. Say it as much as you can. But when you get to that stage, you should be ready to answer every question like a conversation. So I don't know, do you have an example? Like I've had an interview where I was an interview where I was stunned. I didn't know what to say. All right. So, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was stunned. So I didn't know what to say. I took some time and I wanted to understand the question. I asked, do you mean this? And he said, yes. Okay, I'm like, okay, this is what I can say about that. And that was it. Whoever may know that you really don't have so much to say about that, but try and cover, or Abby sent a list of questions. She sent it to me during my interviews too. And I think it helped me a lot then, way back. So that covers like a lot of the questions you're going to be asked, except they're going to ask you something more personal. And that's your best bet. If they're going to something more personal about you, about your experience, oh boy, that's a good time to shine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Alrighty, I wish everybody all the best. Yes, Dr. Vivian said you have to pray before you go, positive attitude, you know, and everything is gonna be fine. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody matching this year, and by God's grace, it's gonna happen. So I wish you guys all the best. Any questions, you can get my number from Edward, my email address, whatever. Send. If you have a response, you want me to look at it, I could help you edit. We could fine tune it and make it much better so that you could say whatever you want to say. But as I said, positive attitude, it works all the time. Let them feel it, the energy that you have through the screen. All right. Good night, guys. God bless you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, OJ.
Thank you.
JB. Thank you for you go, especially Dr.